Hello, everybody, onto YouTube and TikTok. And as you can see, I'm driving a different vehicle from the last time. I want to point out something that what I have right here. The last 3 videos are on YouTube. I have posted up what happened, and I want to say this again. The 2 individuals, or the 2 couples, claiming to be victims, but they're not. I'm sitting here in between Pasadena Courthouse and Pasadena Police Department. And I'm just going to say names. And according to Detective, matter of fact, I don't want to say his name, but I'm going to put a thought to it, get advice to say his name if I make another video. Detective over here saw my previous YouTube videos of what happened to my mother and her home that she owned. Technically, it's me and my mother's home that my dad had passed excuse me, had passed on to us. He paid the house off. My father passed away July 21st of 2007 of congestive heart failure. We still honor him. He worked at JPL NASA for 27 years, and I do have proof of that. To be brief on my father, he did police training of different fields, but he decided not to join the sheriff's department or the police department. And y'all know why. Because of this and that. There's lots of reasons. JPL offered him a big position, a lieutenant security guard, which pays more than what the sheriffs are making that then and now. And don't forget, JPL NASA it's a government facility, a government thing. And I had the opportunity to work there, but anywho, this court, the DA told the judge and told my former public defender to have me remove the YouTube videos of what? Because of my mom's house got stolen, and we got proof of that. My mother's signature was forged without her knowledge and without my knowledge. Don't forget, I'm the witness, and I have another witness and another witness. The YouTube videos that I did remove it, but it's on my phone. It's still on my phone. This is considered of my First Amendment right got violated. My constitutional rights got violated, which is freedom of speech. I'm trying to express to the public a future reference of who y'all dealing with, especially these two. especially these two. It's not right to do that. The story behind it is, I'm gonna make it short, long story short. My mom had a reverse mortgage to do repairs on the house and all kinds of stuff, you know. She was kind of behind on her property tax. She forgot to pay for it. She had the money to pay for it, but she forgot to pay for it. And plus the homeowner's insurance. And for my end, I pay the utility bills. I pay the light, gas, and water. And I go half on the cell phone bill. She goes half on the cell phone bill. I go half on the cable bill. She goes half on cable bill. All sorts of things. We go half on this and that of what needs to be paid. Make a long story short, it was plotted. His alleged girlfriend or so-called wife act like she wasn't part of it. Guess again, she was. She was part of it because I have a document that has her name on some type of a lease agreement or lease paper that I have on my phone. I have everything on my phone to show to the lawyer. Like I said, my civil rights, or my freedom of speech was violated. My constitutional rights was violated. And they had to remove the YouTube videos. Okay, so one, the DA never looked at the videos. Two, they never looked at, the judge never looked at the videos. And the public defender. So what I have here is the documentation against, I'm just going to say it. He used a fictitious name. Solomon and King Management Group, LLC. Kim Lamont Snowden. I'm just going to point it out to y'all. This is the document. This is the document, which is quiet title, fraud, and elder abuse. This is show proof. Very big proof. And this is going to be into federal court. I'm going to hold it up for a couple seconds or more than that. It says Solomon King Management Group, LLC, Kim Lamont Snowden. The defendant, my mother's name, versus him. And there's more to this. This is a example copy. I have all the documents about this thing. There's more to it right here. More to it. More to it. So I was trying to find where I can read it. Well, I'm going to read something. It says plaintiff, which is my mother, understand the paper to be loan documents only. Plaintiff, my mother, unbeknownst to her, executed a grant deed in favor of Solomon King Management Group to convey its entirely, what do you want to call it, the subject real property. Early December 2016, Plaintiff was hospitalized at Huntington Memorial Medical Center for multiple medical conditions. Upon return, defendant Kim Snowden spoke with plaintiff in an angry, assaultive manner, demanding to know where she had been and asked to know when she was leaving the subject real property permanently. Defendant Kim Snowden explained that he had filed an unlawful detainer action against plaintiff and demanded that she leave the residence immediately. Plaintiff was shocked but did not leave the residence. On or about December 16, 2016, plaintiff heard a loud banging on her front door. When plaintiff answered the door, the two Los Angeles County Sheriff deputies were there, and they stated that they were conducting a welfare check. Now, let me stop right there. Welfare check, December 16th. I was home in my room playing my Xbox, playing my Call of Duty, whatever. I remember. I have a very good memory. Playing my Xbox. Don't forget, I have surveillance cameras on my porch facing out, and 2 more cameras facing out north and south. And I did see the deputies on camera. Why would he do that? Knowing that we didn't even know what Kim did. We didn't even know that he forged my mom's signature. How did he do it? I'll explain to later on that on another video. Defendant welfare check for her safety. Defendant Kim Snowden and a friend, Asia Duncan. Hereinafter, Duncan was also present. Defendant Kim Snowden asked the deputies to escort plaintiff from residence as she had missed a court date on December 16, 2016. There was no court date. There was no court date. We wasn't even where. We wasn't even where. I am so sorry somebody's texting me. We are my iPad, please. Hold on one second. I'm up. So, missed a court date. Tell me this. What court date? He didn't do anything. Like, one, I could look through the documents. Even if there was a court date, but she wasn't notified. I wasn't notified. Where an unlawful detainer was attained, and that defendant Kim Snowden had a judgment and an eviction notice was issued. My mom was never issued none of those papers. Plaintiff had not been served with any notice of eviction. With no proof, the defendant and the deputy sheriffs left the location without further incident. On or about December 18, 2016, plaintiff left the subject property for fear of continued assaultive behavior and harassment. Since that time, defendant Solomon King Management Group, aka or real name Kim Snowden, has been in possession of the subject real property to exclusion of the plaintiff. On or about April 26, 2018, Reverse Mortgage Solutions improperly filed a notice of default and election to sell under deed of trust against plaintiff primarily for her failure to reside in the subject's property. You know why. The filing identified plaintiff specifically as the indebted party in the amount of $367,000, because they kept going up. She didn't borrow that much to repair the house. Plaintiff is informed and believes the property is worth approximately $800,000. On June 28, 2018, a demand was sent to certify to defendants. Read it. I'm going to say it again. On June 18th, and this is the time I was incarcerated and I was accused. I was brought into custody on April 25th, 2018, on my mom's birthday. I was accused of making threats and stalking Kim Snowden and Asia Duncan. I was accused. They saying they had proof on me. During that interview with Detective Vennigan, he claiming to the judge and the DA that I admitted to him posing a threat to Asia and Kim using a fictitious Facebook account, which is what was that name? Evie or Evelyn, Evie Jordan or something like that. I had never opened up a fake Facebook page. Why would I do that? I have my own Facebook page. Make it make sense. Tell me something. Make it make sense. You accusing me of criminal threats, and I had spent the maximum of 4.5 years, and plus including the 8-month prison time that y'all put me in for something I didn't even do. The only conversation I had was with Asia Duncan, and I got screenshots and everything that I never threatened her. That's not my character. I never threaten her. I don't even threaten nobody. That's not my character. I'm a Christian. I go to church. On June 28th, 2018, a demand was sent, certified to defendants, Solomon King Management Group, and Asia Duncan, to seize all activities. Seize. Don't take nothing out of the house. They found out RMS found out what happened. They came from all the way from, I think, South Carolina or North Carolina. They flew out here to the property. They brought the U.S. Marshals. I got witnesses on that too. They took pictures to seize all activities and immediately vacate the subject real property. The real subject real property, which is my mother and Army, and reconvey the fraudulent transfer. Fraudulent transfer. Hello, right there. It says fraudulent transfer. I want to make it clear. Fraudulent. Why is this thing been fraudulent transfer right here? Fraudulent. On July 28th, 2018, First American Title Insurance Company filed a notice of trustee sale on behalf of RMS and scheduled initial foreclosure procedure September 16, 2018. RMS was thereafter advised of that an action was being commenced for the fraudulent conveyance. On August 23rd, 2018, Solomon King Management Group filed a limited jurisdiction quiet title action case number. I'm not going to say the case number. It's right here. Entitled Solomon King Management Group LLC, plaintiff versus Lila King defendant, with damages asserted to exceed $10,000. Said action thereafter dismissed. Said action was thereafter dismissed by Solomon King Management Group upon the filing of a motion to strike the complaints as improperly initiated. Why would he do that? But the court dismissed it. Solomon King Management Group plaintiff, Kim Snowden as the plaintiff, versus my mother defendant, with damages asserted to not exceed $10,000. He was trying to get damages. He was trying to get $10,000 out of my mom's money. He was trying to get $10,000 of something that did not belong to him, as something that the house did not belong to him. It belonged to reverse mortgage. It belonged to my mom. So the court dismissed it because the court told him, oh no, it didn't belong to you. This house didn't belong to you. RMS, the U.S. Marshals, and Kim, he filed bankruptcy. 3 parties escorted Kim and Asia out the property. Didn't take no possession. They took everything out the house. 3 parties took everything out the house. My neighbors that told me, they were standing out there, they were clapping, cheering on. Kim Snowden and Asia Duncan told a biggest lie in the history of books. So this case is still going on. So this video will be posted right here. Take a very good look. Very good look. And this copy can go to, I already made copies. This went to my public defender, former public defender. It's going to go to my pastor's attorney. And it's going to go to this dumb detective accusing me of numerous things. My next video will convey, or my next video will, I will say I was accused of numerous things, that I was brought to jail 3 times. 3 times after. Palmdale incident, that this dummy Pasadena police have no jurisdiction. Had no jurisdiction to go to Palmdale. Oh, reason why I went to Palmdale, to take care of my mom up there. Reasons, personal reasons, to get away from the mess. That was the first time. Second time, I was in my neighborhood, on my street. I still live on my street. I get mail from my friend's house across the street from the house that was taken from me and my mother and me. Little as you know it, Asia pulls around at a black Chevy Tahoe with the handicap plate on it. I try to have my mom to take the license plate down on that vehicle. And I'm like, I'm trying to have some feeling that I'm trying to have some, so my pastor has gonna have me do a project on my iPad I do every Sunday now at his church. At least I go to church. But those two or those three, they don't go to church. They don't. Thank you very much. I wasn't saying, I don't know, she was in that Tahoe. I didn't know she was in that Chevrolet Tahoe. It was just me and my mother sitting in the car. We had a red Toyota Prius. We were sitting in the car having breakfast. We got from McDonald's. Came up there, sitting there in the car. That's because that's our neighborhood. That's not her neighborhood. She never lived in that neighborhood. She never lived there. I pull up records of addresses that she never lived in Altadena and Pasadena. And the cops rolled up. There were about like 4 or 5 cop cars rolled up. Didn't even know. I thought there was some type of incident happened next door to my friend's house. So the cops, they came up to my car. I said, what is going on? I said, are you Lando? I said, yes, I am. I said, what is going on? I said, you're in violation of restraining order. I said, what restraining order? You're in violation, you're restraining because you're not supposed to be near your house. I mean, like, I'm not even near my house. Okay, so I'm not even near my house. I'm not even near my house. I'm like in front of my neighbor's house, which is on the corner of this street and that street. So they put me in handcuffs, and little as you know it, guess who steps out of that black SUV, that black Tahoe? Asia Duncan. When I went back in the cruiser, I saw on a police, the sheriff's computer, and it says Asia Duncan was visiting her cousin. And what cousin? She ain't got no cousin that's living in the area. Or like, come on. She ain't got no cousin. When I got out, I paid $30 to this website, public data check website. I looked up the property of next door to my friend's house. There's no relations. There's no relations of Asia Duncan on it. There's no relations. Because that public data check website, it tells you everything. And I'm still subscribed to that. It tells you everything. There's no residence of Asia. There's no residence of Kim. There's no residence of any relative. There's no residence of any relative. So I'm going to do a next video because I'm having people calling me right now. My pastor's calling me, and then my mom's calling me, and then my pastor's calling me. So I will continue this on the next video.